Joining us now is Linda Smith, Executive Director of NACRA. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, we know that plays well with others is a goal that's always encouraged in school, but this kind of community collaboration sounds like pretty serious business. Why is it so important?
Well, I think it's important for really what happens when collaboration doesn't occur, and I think you have to look at what happens. And what happens is that, there are stovepipes, the money is, dispersed, it's fought over, et cetera, and at the end of the day, children and families get hurt. And I think so we really have got to stand back from this and think collaboration more frequently and make it happen.
So what has to happen to ensure that community collaboration gets off to a good start?
Well, I think this is the nice thing, because collaboration starts with the grassroots, and it basically it takes leadership, but it also takes a vision in a community about what they want for children and families. And once you've defined that vision and your goal, then getting there becomes clearer. And too often I think our goal has not been the children, it's been all of the other things going on in communities, and we really need to keep our eye on the child.
I really like your mention of vision. And in order to achieve that common vision, I think schools and community providers need time to learn about each other's philosophies and address any real perceived differences in how they approach early education. As we saw in Wisconsin, process coaches and neutral facilitators really helped. Have you seen other states and communities providing that kind of support?
Well, there are some examples of other communities and states trying this. Maine is one that is really looking at the Wisconsin model and taking seriously the idea of coaching and mentoring to get this to happen. It needs to happen more often, I think, is the issue. I think we have some examples, but we need a lot more.
Well, certainly people watching this program, some of them are in states or cities where there's been no commitment to community collaboration. What can advocates do in that case?
Well, I think advocates need to take responsibility, and the ball starts with them. I think one of the lessons learned from the Wisconsin model is that it was a bottom-up build, but a top-down support. And so advocates really can take this and run with it and develop the passion, and that passion spreads, and it gets other people involved in the community and up the chain.
The other thing we need to do is to keep our focus on quality. And Linda, you've been such a great advocate for quality. Every collaboration must ensure that quality standards are being met. And one of Eau Claire's answers to this challenge was to involve all the caregivers in professional development opportunities, whether they were a part of the 4K funded program or not.
Exactly, and that's one of the benefits of a collaboration, because the spillover into other parts of the community. In the case of Eau Claire, 4-year-olds certainly benefited, but so did 3-year-olds and babies in the programs, where the staff got better training opportunities and had better role models to look at.
What about the way, or changing the way, parents get involved in early childhood education? Have you seen some of these community collaborations result in more parental involvement?
Yeah, I think when collaboration occurs at the local level, parents do tend to get more involved, and because there's ownership. We've seen a lot of this in the San Diego, California area, where there's a lot of collaboration going on around, especially inclusion programs with special needs children. And that brings along with it a lot of parent involvement, which has been really just heartwarming to see.
What would you want to leave, the thought that you'd want to leave the people watching this program in their viewing centers with today?
Well, I think the thought I have on this is failure to collaborate is really a disservice to our children and our families, and we need to take these lessons and learn from them and run with them at the local level.
Thanks, Linda. Now Libby will give us a summary of action items for successful community collaborations. Libby?
Thanks, Linda. Indeed, I think there were many excellent lessons once again to take away from this video. First, state and local early learning councils with diverse representation are important for building relationships and support for collaboration. Next, we must convince policymakers to invest in collaboration resources like coaches and facilitators or technical assistance teams. Third, we need to place a premium on collaboration, requiring that a minimum percentage of children be served in diverse settings and giving funding priority to communities that commit to a collaborative approach. And fourth, we must constantly strive for a level playing field on issues of funding, access to quality improvement, resources, and accountability.